Hi, I'm Femi OK and you're in the stream. Today, enhancing human capabilities by implanting technology into the body. Now, the world's first legally recognized human cyborg is here to tell us all about it. Artist, activist and human cyborg Neil Harbisson is here with us. Neil, welcome to the stream.
Hi, thank you.
It's great to have you here. Okay, cyborg. I have watched so many sci-fi movies that the actual word scares me, but technically, what is a cyborg?
It's very simple. The word itself, the word defines itself. It's just the union between cybernetic and organism. So in my case, I feel that cybernetics are a part of my organism. I don't feel that I'm using technology or wearing technology. I feel that I am technology, and this feeling is what cyborg is. I think it's more of a feeling that you are technology.
Now, you've been walking around the DC Washington bureau here today. How do people look at you when you walk by?
Well, the social reaction is actually it changes depending on the cities, but yeah, it's usually not very
jaws drop?
I don't know. It's different, I guess. But
wherever you go.
I get stopped very often, and, or laughed at because they don't know what it is, or just they ask me what it is. I don't know. It hasn't really changed for the last 10 years because I've had an antenna permanently in my head for over a decade. So I thought it would change, but it's still not changing as fast as I thought.
All right, we're going to find out more about your antenna in just a moment. But first, Omar Bidar is standing in for Malika Bilal this week. Online, what's going on in terms of cyborgs, human cyborgs, the possibilities?
You know, it's a really exciting topic for me and for a lot of people in our online community. We asked them if they could embed some kind of technology into their bodies, what they would get. And we had actually all kinds of really interesting responses. Ahmed here says a jetpack or some sort of flying mechanism. That was a very popular one.
How is he going to sleep with a jetpack in his body, though?
Well, if they had to think things through, it would not be Twitter. So
exactly. No thought required to tweet.
Yep. And we have Roxanne here that I actually identify with this. She says she would embed some kind of multi-core processing to get more RAM memory. I think everybody could actually benefit from some kind of extra multitasking power. But let me tell you also who else is joining this conversation. We actually have VJ Murphy, who is a tech writer. We have Isaac Dean Weber, a model and a friend of Neil's. And we also have David Layton, a television director. Welcome to all of you, and we'll get to their conversation in just a little bit.
All right, so you have seen, I know you've seen, wearable products like Google Glass and wristbands that monitor health and smartwatches that do all sorts of things. Pretty cool, right? But today, with Neil's help, we are going a step further to talk about devices that can physically become part of the human body. It's this kind of embeddable technology that's allowing Neil, who is completely colorblind, to perceive colors. So while most of us see reds and greens and blues, Neil hears them with the help of a camera antennae that's surgically implanted into his head, and it's called the eyeborg. So Neil, right now, if you're looking at me, what color am I wearing right now?
Well, you're quite silent, so I guess it's just black. So because black is silence.
Black.
So if you are wearing blue, you would sound like C#. If you are in yellow, you would sound G. So each color creates a light frequency that can actually be heard, and that's what the antenna does. It actually allows me to hear the frequencies of light.
Can we have a closer look at the eyeborg? I know you don't want us to go around the back, but can we look at the front close up? All right, so Steadicam Dave is going to come up close to you. Now, it starts at the back. Now, at the back, what happens?
Well, this is the color sensor that goes to my back, and then there's a chip that transposes the light frequencies to sound frequencies. Then my head was drilled, so I would have different entries. There's 2 antenna entries. There's a vibration entry, which is the vibration that creates the sound of each color.
So you've got 2 holes in the back of your head?
Well, there's actually 4, because there's also internet connection.
Like a plug?
No, it goes inside. So it's like 4 entries inside the skull. And it's for 4 different things, I guess.
And has the skin grown around it, or is it like an
so it took 2 months for the antenna and my head to unite.
Right.
And now it's just completely
wow. Fixed. Pull that again. Ow. Does it hurt?
Oh, no. So if anyone attacks me, it's just like if they were pulling a hand. It's unremovable.
I can imagine small children would want to touch it.
Some nephews that have pulled my antenna. Yes. But
now, it's an antenna that actually does what? So, back of your head.
It allows me to sense visual and invisible colors, so it goes
Right.
beyond human sight, so I can
Right.
sense infrareds, ultraviolets, and I can also receive colors from other parts of the world. So there's 5 people in the world that can send colors from different
Right.
continents, and it also allows me to connect to satellites, so I can sense the colors of space. So it allows me to extend my sense of sight, basically.
Wow. David Layton is a TV director. David and I have worked together in the past, and one of the things he told me was, Femi, I'm colorblind. Tell me about this color and that color. I was like, how do you become a TV director and you can't see certain colors? So David, can you explain to us what it is that you can see, and then how this technology, could it even work for you, do you think?
I'm not sure it could work for me. I'd find a bit of a problem with the whole antennae. But in terms of using color, I mean, I feel I see color, but when I talk to my wife, who's got normal color vision, she is amazed at some of the things I miss, some of the subtleties of color, the fact that I will often get sort of colors mixed up, like pinks and blues and mauves. You know, it's very difficult to sort of, for me to judge which is which.
And there's quite a big gap between pink and mauve. Although I don't think most guys would see the gap between pink and mauve, but women definitely see the gap between pink and mauve. Okay, all right, David, we'll come back to you. Omar.
We actually have a question here from Don, who tweeted in saying, the pro of having a device like this is helping you navigate through the world, but a con would be all the attention it attracts. Do you ever find yourself bothered with the amount of attention that you get from people?
Yes, but I expect that this will change, so I'm just waiting for this to become normal, and I'm sure that in the 20s we'll see many people with new body parts and with new senses, in the same way that at the beginning, I guess people that had mobile phones, people would stare at them in the street. If someone was talking on the phone in the early 90s, they would...
Well, it would be a brick, though. That's why they would be stared at, because you'd have like a suitcase and dialing the one other person in the world that has another suitcase.
Yeah, or even when people were talking hands-free,
Yeah.
at the beginning of this, people talking by their own...
you'd stare at them.
That was strange. Now
Yeah.
it's normal. So I guess we'll see people
interesting.
with new body parts soon, and that will become normal as well.
People may think that you're going a little bit over the top because David, you know, he can't see subtleties of colour, but you had a very extreme form of colour blindness. I'm actually going to show people what it is that you see in the world and why it is a problem. So have a listen to this. This is one of Neil's TEDx talks. This is how he sees the world.
Metro map of Lisbon, which is fine. It's not complicated in grayscale, but if I go to Tokyo, as you saw, it's quite complex. This is Tokyo, so if you see this in grayscale, you can easily get lost. Another thing that happens in black and white is that this.
So now I see the problem. We use colour as a way of communicating,
Yeah.
and you've missed out on that whole communication, right?
So it's a social problem. It's not actually that I feel disabled. I don't feel at all disabled by seeing in black and white. That's why I didn't want to change my sight. I wanted an independent sense for color, because to me seeing black and white is fine. But there's this social element that I was missing, which is color. Color is an extremely popular element and a social element.
BJ, what do you find fascinating about what Neil's done to his body?
I find it fascinating that really it's showing a new era for disabled people. They are no longer to remain disabled, but not just able, but also augmented. That they're able to change how they view the world and how the world can view back at themselves. I think that's really fascinating.
See, Neil says that he thinks that this is the way forward, that we're going to stop looking at people the way that we stop looking at people just seemingly talking to themselves in the street, because we know that they're actually talking on their phones. As somebody who delves into the world of science and technology, can you see this happening anytime soon?
I believe it will happen much sooner than people would expect. I mean, here in the United States, we're having an even larger community of biohackers, and people are putting implants in their bodies for all number of reasons.
What's a biohacker?
Well, it's essentially how it sounds. It's hacking your biology, and there are many ways people are doing this, through more organic methods to people putting in cybernetic implants under their skin.
Right. All right, Omar.
We actually have some people who are skeptics about how well something like this works. We have Akeem here who on Facebook says, biodigital tech being embedded into any part of the human system is bound to be full of flaws. Just wait for its long-term result. And we have Martha here who actually has a question. Says, has this ever short-circuited or malfunctioned?
No, it hasn't. It's just, I guess there will be people that will be incompatible with the technology. So you need to see if your body accepts the new body part and if your brain accepts the new sense. You need a type of a period of adaptation when you add a new sense to your body. So
what's that period like? I mean, are you sick? Does it reject it? What happens?
In my case, my body really rejected the new sense. I had strong headaches and I was really tired, but I insisted on just perceiving color.
David looks like he's got another question for you, David.
Yes, well, that's that whole thing of having sort of the antennae. Could you not actually have it wireless? Could you not sort of just have a pair of glasses, which would be, as you say, it's all about social interaction, and having an antennae just actually sort of puts up a bit of a barrier, don't you think?
No, I don't want to wear a sense. I want to have a sense, and that's the huge difference. Glasses are designed to wear on and off, whereas I want to have the sense. I don't want to wear it. And if this, I thought that antennas would be the best new body part to have, because when you look at nature, what we see is that antennas are used for several things. The antenna allows me to sense the colors behind me, beside me, independently from sight. So I just did what I thought was best for me, and then of course the social reaction is a consequence, but I actually ignore the social reaction. When people laugh at me, it's just become so normal that I just don't even notice it sometimes, unless they really laugh loud.
Oh, I feel really upset for you.
Oh no, I don't.
You may be hearing some beeping that's going off on stage right here. This is me, because I'm on your app.
Okay.
Tell me about your app, because your app gives you the same experience as you're having in terms of hearing sounds. So
well, it's similar.
Yeah, it's similar. So on this app, it becomes sensitive to color, so it makes a noise. So now I'm going to do this. So everybody, so I'm going to point the camera at particular colors. So here we've got yellow. Is this how you hear yellow?
Yeah, yellow is quite in the middle of the spectrum, but middle low.
All right, and then blue's pretty high.
Yeah, blue has a higher frequency.
What color is that?
Even higher.
What's that?
A type of violet.
Ooh, this is a good test. Okay. What color is that?
Depends on the light as well. So, but that's not violet, not blue. It should be a red or orange or a yellow. Depends on.
It starts with the letter G. Green. One more.
You see, the thing is that you have to subtract the sound of the light, because the light is not white.
Yeah.
The light is yellow. So you need to do some calculations here.
Ooh, what am I? Oh my god, I'm going crazy here. All right, turn it off, says my producer. I know exactly how he feels. All right, this going on in my head would drive me slightly batty, I have to admit. There's a boo, 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 boo. Is that how you see? You perceive the color in the world? That's all going on in your head.
An approximation of what I sense, but it's what I sense is an inner sound. It's a vibration. So sound is a consequence of the new sense. The sense is a vibration that goes in my skull, and these vibrations then become sound. So then, what you use now is just similar.
So is it vibrating then? Am I vibrating to you right now?
Yeah, all the frequencies of light vibrate in my skull, and this is gives me a sound. But if I was deaf, I could still sense color through the vibration.
So see, as you're explaining it more, I'm getting a little bit more confused. So here's you on my laptop here, looking at a picture. So what I see are reds and yellows and blues and white stripes in this picture. What do you perceive when you're in front of that picture?
Oh, that's painting. Well, that's a musical experience. Paintings have different colors, so it creates different vibrations that create different notes. So it's a very intense experience, because each line has its own frequency. So it's like music.
Sure. I want to do an experiment. Isaac, are you ready for this experiment?
Yes.
All right, so the plan is we are going to send, you're one of the few people in the world that can send Isaac colors, pictures. because you have access to his antenna.
Yes.
Right. All right. So show us what you're going to send him.
All right. I'm going to send Neil a portrait of myself.
All right.
And he can
don't say it out loud. Just show it to us. Neil, don't look.
Oh, there. Neil didn't hear that, right?
Yeah, he heard it.
Oh no.
But you didn't finish it. It's all right. Go ahead. Send it. There you go. All right. So that's what you're sending. Send it. It might take a few minutes. And then Neil, will you know when you've got something from Isaac?
Yeah, because I'm perceiving the colors here now.
All right.
So
and then does something interrupt it? How does it interrupt you?
Yeah, suddenly I get an interruption, and then I perceive a color that it's not in front of me.
All right.
And then now.
Right. So you've got it now? Wow, that was fast. That's faster than my internet. All right. What's vibrating right now in your head?
It was an F sharp dominant, and just by perceiving the colors, you can tell that it's most probably a face, because I've been hearing faces for over a decade, so I know.
Right, so an F sharp dominant. Is that a good face or a bad face?
It's a good face, yeah.
All right. When you look at my face, you can say if it's a bad face. Is this a good vibrating face or a bad vibrating face?
Well, we all have different combinations of colors, so I guess by getting close I can get more specific, but your lips sound high pitched because I can hear the E between E and F sharp.
And there's a lot of lips going on, right?
And then your skin is between F sharp and G.
Right.
So, but you know, people that say they're black or white is completely false. We all the same color. People that say they're black, they're actually dark orange. People that say they're white, they're actually light orange. So we actually all share the same hue.
Okay.
So
like I could have this. I could be the same vibration as Omar.
Yeah,
that's
very
cool.
similar. We all sound F sharp, which is a shade of orange.
You see, if we could see the world from your antenna, then we wouldn't have wars, maybe, perhaps.
Oh yeah, we would all be the same color. Orange.
Oh, that would be fantastic. But then we'd find something else, like my antenna is shinier than your antenna, and then we'd fight about that. Omar, what's going on online?
See, specifically on the question that you just raised about the fact that you felt an interruption, we have Mahamud here who tweets in saying, in the future he could possibly be hacked. And I think the question here is, theoretically, if somebody were able to send you information that you were not perceiving, how disruptive would that be of you going about your life? And do you have a way of turning it off, like if you need to just stop perceiving something through your...
Yeah, no, I only gave the connection to Isaac and 4 other people in the world. So there's only 5 people that can connect to my head. And I try to keep this quite secret, otherwise I can easily be hacked,
But if somebody that you did not know where to gain access and send you information, is there any way for you to block that, or are you stuck
not at the
receiving
moment. So if it happens, if I am hacked, then I'll make some changes, but at the moment it hasn't happened. But now that we are live on TV, someone might try that.
I think it's more of a question of if, not when.
Really?
When, not if.
Yeah, when.
Really?
It will happen.
Well,
unfortunately, but Neil can change it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the vulnerabilities, but that would not be smart to say that on TV. David, what did you want to add?
Sorry.
Well, I'm just intrigued that it's actually he's using colours and translating them into music. But I understand that sort of Neil is studied experimental music, and maybe he understands music certainly better than I do. I would actually find it very difficult to understand the specific notes in the way that he does. Is it something about the way he hears music?
No, actually, music was actually something negative, because music teaches you to learn 12 notes in an octave, whereas color is much more complex. There's many more sounds in an octave. There's 360 at least. So if you are musically trained, then you have to untrain yourself in order to accept that there's notes between F and F sharp and G. So I've trained people with no musical knowledge, and it went much faster than people that had musical knowledge, because they were trained in a specific way that didn't accept the fact that there's many more sounds between notes.
Right. Yeah, because there's something like 360 frequencies you can...
So an octave is...
For the colours that are around the world, you've got about 360 kind of ways that you can perceive them. So that's 360 notes, and then we basically have an octave. Wow. All right, I have to show you something, everybody who's watching this at home. This is a concert you did where you gave everybody these little apps, right? And they played... Tell us what they're doing, and then I'll play a bit of the concert.
Well, yeah, I can create color concerts now. So instead of playing an instrument, I use color. And then in this case, I think the audience was playing the colors of a screen. So they were using their phones and they were playing...
And they're playing the screen. And this is how it sounded.
Aku sắp kế đó cho.
Wow.
So yeah, you can convert your mobile phone into a musical instrument or your own body into a musical instrument.
Right. What are the possibilities beyond your antenna, which is still creating an incredible amount of curiosity? Where would you go to next?
Well, now I'm connecting to satellites, like we saw with Isaac, was sending colors from a different city.
Yeah.
But I can also receive colors from different continents or different planets even. So what I'm doing now is creating a satellite so that I can launch the satellite next year, and then
you can launch a satellite from your head.
Not from my head, but
okay.
from someone.
Okay, because then I was about to be seriously impressed. It's not just about making like cute little noises. The guy can launch a satellite into space. No, NASA wants to talk to you.
You can create your own satellite,
right,
with color detectors.
You've got me believing anything is possible here, Neil. All right, carry on.
And then this satellite will be launched,
yes,
and then I'll be able to connect the antenna to the satellite. So by having ultraviolet sensors up there, I'll have like a third eye in space that will allow me to perceive many more colors.
This is all about you. I'm talking about humankind, Neil. This is what you can do. What about the rest of us?
That's for everyone. Anyone can connect to that satellite, right, and then we can actually explore space from Earth. We don't need to travel. We can actually connect our body.
Oh, so you will be
space,
helping NASA by saving the money from traveling somewhere. Wow, but the possibilities are actually infinite, really.
Well, our senses can travel to space before our bodies, so that's what I'm trying to explore, and anyone will be able to connect to this antenna and explore the colors of space. And this is just an example of what is happening. I think humans are actually trying to extend their senses to the level of being able to survive in space, and this is just small steps that we're going to see this century.
But that image, by the way, I just left you hanging, was Isaac's own face.
Yes.
And he's a model, so, you know, it was quite a nice, what was it, F-sharp?
Yeah.
Yes, I can see why he gets a lot of work with an F-sharp face. Omar.
We have actually, people now are raising sort of like a bit bigger questions. We have Mohammed here who says, there are ethical concerns here. How much should we be tinkering with human bodies, and how truly human will we be if we do change a lot? And we have Joe here who asks, if you could replace enough parts of your body to live 1,000 years, would you do that? And sort of like the question is, could there be so much technology incorporated that you're no longer human? Are you ever concerned that there is a change that might be too big, that you're losing something essential?
I think being human is becoming technology. I think we're still not 100% human. I think when we all actually have technological parts and we have technological senses, we will become human. I think there's nothing more human than doing this. It's extremely human. Technology is a human creation. Humans are human creation, so it's just a union between both, and it makes sense. I think it doesn't make sense to use technology as a tool. It's actually interfering with reality if we use technology as a tool. Whereas if we become technology, we can focus on nature again, and we can focus on reality.
See, I can tell that BJ, he's nodding, he's buying into this. David is colorblind. David, are you any closer to embracing this technology, do you think?
Well, going back to the TED lecture which Neil gave, can he now use his antenna to follow the Tokyo tube map?
Yes. So, but it goes beyond that. It's more of it's a more profound thing. I think it's not a. I didn't do this for a practical reason. It was more of a social reason, and then it's become more of a human nature reason. I think it's very, very human to have this wish to extend ourselves. Well, that's why we go to school, because we want to extend our knowledge. That's why people go to church, because they want to extend their spirituality. But we can also extend our senses and perception of reality, and this is how we can do it.
Neil Harbisson, thank you very much. You've kept the conversation going. We could talk to you for hours, but we'll follow you online, and it's great that you came in to talk to us. Also, David and BJ and also Isaac, thank you very much for being part of this conversation. Now, on the next show, Omar will be here with Malika Bilal. I am going to be heading off to the Storyology Festival in Sydney, Australia. So if you're going there, I will see you there. And on Monday's show, well, we are going to catch up with Mozam Beg. He'll be talking about his time as an inmate in Guantanamo and his appeal to help secure the freedom of ISIL hostages. Meanwhile, you can always find us at stream.aljazeera.com. Thanks for watching. Take care.